On the airgun forums, a common question is, what is your favorite pellet pistol? And a common answer to that question is the Beeman P17, which was also sold as the, well, I don't remember. Anyway, it's a copy of a German gun that's much more expensive. And Marksman, I think, is who also sold this. It was sold as a Marksman model 2001 or something like that. But anyway, I'm sure you guys will correct me if I get that wrong. Of course, I'll know what it is in just a few minutes after I finish this video anyway. But I think it was a Marksman. But it doesn't matter. It's just a name. It's the same thing in the guise of a Beeman P17. And like I said, a lot of people name this as their favorite. And the reason they do is because it has a pretty good trigger and it's pretty accurate. And one thing I do like about it is that it's not a Springer. It's a single stroke pneumatic. So I like pneumatics. I prefer multi-stroke pneumatics, but because you can adjust the power. And I'll say right up front, this is not my favorite pellet gun. I like the Crosman 1377 much more than I like the P17, which the 1377 and 1322 is a multi-stroke pneumatic. And the reason I said 1377 instead of 1322, I think I would probably like the 1322 more, but I don't have one. I've got a 1377 and I've had it for several years, and I like it so well I haven't even modified it at all. But this has a couple of problems. So let's address those two issues. One, see, it's got this fake slide. It's not actually a slide, but it's made to look like one. And you pull the hammer that's not a hammer, which releases it, and it swings up. And see, there is the air tube, the compressor. And you swing it over. And let's go ahead and... No, I'm not going to do it all the way. But right there you can see the piston rod moving. And so you swing it all the way open, and then when you close it back, it compresses air into a chamber back here. And that's your power source. So this fake slide is made of plastic. I thought it was aluminum, but it's not. And it's got a steel pin in the back of it here to catch on the fake hammer, which is really a barrel latch. We'll call it a barrel instead of a slide. Barrel and barrel shroud. But anyway, one of the good things about it is if you look in there, the barrel is held in place by just a couple of screws. And I guess it's kind of a friction fit on this end. I haven't really looked closely at this end, but I think that's what the deal is. And so, anyway, that leads us to the first problem. First problem is when you close it and compress the air, it takes quite a bit of effort. It takes way more effort than it does to pump my 1377. And 2 or 3, probably only about 2 strokes with my 1377, or maybe 3, gives about the same power as this. So, and it's easy to pump. So that's one of the reasons I like it better. And another reason is that I can pump it 10 times and it's got a lot more power than this. But anyway, it is difficult to compress it. And it takes quite a bit of effort. And in order to gain the most leverage, you pretty much have to put the heel of your hand almost directly on the rear side. I put it right in front of it and kind of grasp the slide like that. Slide / barrel shroud. Anyway, that's one problem. And one solution I've seen to that is somebody put a piece of flat steel or aluminum, I think it was aluminum, bar stock, and put a couple of screws in here to secure it. And then had it sticking out about this far, just as a lever to help close it. And I might do that. I don't know. But that's not the problem we're addressing today. What I've done, I saw this on one of the airgun forums, and the other problem, the other issue is if you look in there, there's the breech end of the barrel. That's the chamber that you load the pellet into. And this pin being the latch, you can't, you don't have really good access there. You basically have one finger access, and you can't move that pin unless you build a whole different latch. And frankly, the pistol is not worth doing that much modification to make it better. So I thought about it, but it's just not worth it. But anyway, so you pretty much have to balance the pellet on your finger, or hold it, pinch it up to about right here. But when you're actually approaching the chamber, it's a one finger job, and so you've got to guide it into the chamber and press it in with one finger. And flat point pellets especially are difficult to chamber, so I only use round points in this because it's still not real easy, but it's easier than a flat point. So I saw on one of the forums where somebody did a simple trick. It's one of those, why didn't I think of that tricks? So like I said, this fake slide is plastic. So what the guy on the forum did was just dremeled this hole larger. There's a hole there anyway, but it's just a little rectangular hole. But you can look directly into it and into the barrel. And let me see, yeah. So you could see light coming through the barrel right there. And so you could get a cleaning rod in there perhaps and clean the barrel. But what this guy did was he took his Dremel or a rat tail file or something and just opened up the hole to where it would accept the end of a pellet pen. So I bought a pellet pen. I didn't even have one because they're mainly for springers, and I don't do springers, so for the most part. So I bought one of those, and I copied that little trick. Opened up that hole, and so now the tip of this pellet pen will fit in there and go directly to the back of the chamber. And that way I can load one pellet into it, pull the pen back out and shoot it, and then repeat. And it makes it a lot easier to load it. So I'm passing that along because it is a good mod. And I got the Air Venturi pellet pen, and Crossman sells one also, and in fact the Crossman is made of metal, but the Air Venturi looks like it has a couple of advantages. For one thing, it's got little notches in it, so you can advance the slider one pellet at a time, whereas the Crossman, since I don't have one, I don't know for sure, but it seems that you pretty much have to just go by feel with it, because I think it's friction only, but I could be wrong. Another thing is that the Crossman is metal, which, I would normally think that's a good thing, but the problem is you can't see the pellets in it. You can see the pellets in this one, see how many you got left. Although I guess you could tell from the position of the slider. And the Crossman is actually a little bit cheaper than the Air Venturi. So I'll probably go ahead and get one of those too, just to tinker with it and see how it works. But this one holds a few more pellets too. The Crossman holds 16 pellets, I think. This one holds 20. So anyway, I paid a couple of dollars more and got this one instead of the Crossman. And it works. This is still not my favorite pellet pistol, but it makes it a little bit more usable. Thanks for watching.